Hey guys, Rick with Rick's Toy Room, and hopefully you got a chance to go through some, if not all, of the video that I just did for Florida SuperCon. It was one of my longer videos, mainly because I had so much to talk about. The experience, all the new things that were going on, all the people I met, all the characters. But it also opened up the door for a few other conversations, and I think both of those conversations kind of require their own video. So I want to touch base right now on autograph pricing, celebrity meet and greets, and what the trend seems to be with meeting these guys right now, right? So over the years, autograph pricing has seemed to go up, especially on some of the more prolific, more famous actors, and even those that think they're self-famous still. Not talking about anybody in particular, Corey Feldman, pricing for autographs has definitely started to skyrocket. Not only because of there's a lot more, it's so much easier for people to meet celebrities, but there's also been a big jump in, secondary market for collectibles being signed. So like Funko Pops have a big market, and there's a huge market for, authenticated JSA or Beckett authenticated Funko Pops that were signed. There's just, a lot more hype around getting celebrity autographs because they're starting to make themselves way more available and known, especially with the amount of Comic Cons. It used to be Comic Con was strictly for comic nerds and meeting the comic celebrities, and then it started to become a multimedia thing where you had your media companies like, look at the draw, look at the people, we can get things, we can get our new movie trailers out, we can get new promotions out, we can promote new products. So you went from, New York Comic Con, WonderCon, and San Diego Comic Con being the de facto Comic Cons, and they brought in comic collectors. And then as pop culture started to really get into these venues, then they start to become more like pop culture cons and multimedia, and now you've got Comic Cons everywhere. Everybody's in the game, right? Wizard World was in Chicago for the longest time when Wizard was a big thing. Reed Pop has really expanded outside of New York, and they run C2E2, and they run Florida SuperCon, and they run a lot of different ones. You now have conventions for horror movies and scary movies and Spookella, Spooky Empire, the one that they do in Texas. Cons have really become a big thing, and with that, it draws now new sets of crowds, it draws new sets of money, and it draws celebrities, and celebrities are the draw for the cons. So it is a self-sustaining ecosystem. Well, with that comes obviously the price of autographs, and some celebrities, they don't necessarily need the money. Some celebrities do it because they do like the fans. Some celebrities do it because it is an instant, great, quick cash grab. It is a way to get re-relevant. It is a way to, try to maybe reboost their movie careers or their television careers or voice acting careers or whatever their deal is. And again, some of them just do it because, their agents were like, look, you can make a shit ton of money for doing nothing all day. Meet some of your fans, smile, act like you care, get paid, right? And throughout the years, the prices have absolutely gone insane. When I started doing conventions and doing celebrity autographs, I can tell you, I can remember the first time my first celebrity was Sergeant Slaughter at Detroit Autorama when I was 8 years old. And I wish I could find that damn photo, but I have his autograph from when I was 8. It was free. You showed up to Autorama, you got in line, you got to say hello, you got to take a picture, that was it. That was the celebrity meet and greet, right? And this is when Sergeant Slaughter just transferred from WWF at the time to G.I. Joe. Fast forward or move up the timeline a few years, and I started doing San Diego and C2E2 and Star Wars Celebrations, and I got Carrie Fisher's autograph for $50, and I thought that was expensive at the time. I got Mark Hamill's autograph at San Diego. It was $100, and I was like, dude, this is stupid. This is why. But I paid it because I wanted to meet Mark Hamill. I wanted Mark Hamill's autograph. I got Ray Parks for $20, $25. Most celebrities for the, early, probably, what was that? It was my 20s, my 30s. So from around 2000 through 2010, 2020, I mean, autographs were $25, $35 a piece. You get the autograph, you get a selfie, you get a quote, $35, that's it. No matter what you wanted to sign, action figures, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, it didn't matter. Like, the autograph was $35 and you get this great big fan experience. Well, now, as things have progressed since COVID, like, just in general, like, celebrities realize they can make money by charging for everything. And I bring this up because I actually got into an interaction with a customer waiting for John Boyega's autograph on Sunday. And Saturday, John did Saturday through Sunday. And make sure, go back and watch my other video before you take anything I say here out of context. But I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not knocking celebrities. I understand and I can justify all of it, right? And at the end of the day, it's a business for them just as it is for everyone else. So on Saturday, John's autograph price was posted at $80 at the table for an 8x10 autograph. $80. Get his autograph, 8x10. He signs it Finn. It's cool. Then it was, I think on the app, it was $120 for, special item or extra item, whatever it is. And basically, anything that's not an 8x10, they're charging extra for. Because it does take a little bit extra time to figure out where you're going to sign a poster, or somebody's got to unroll the poster, or, you got to move stuff around because somebody put a big giant picture frame or a skateboard. So $120 for an item, Funko Pop, whatever. A lot of helmets. So I get it. Then he came out and was like, well, I'm charging $80 for a selfie, which was not on the app. And they only take cash or pre-sales at the table. Like, there's no credit cards at John's table. Which, again, I don't blame him, right? Because credit cards are, 3.5% fee, plus the taxes are included. Like, they've got to transfer. Like, there's extra work. So they don't like to take credit cards, and I get it. Plus, at that point, it's kind of like cash. And you just don't... Whatever. So John's rates were $80 for a photo, or $80 for an autograph, $120 for extra large or other item, $80 for a selfie, and it was $40 for a quote up to 5 words. And I bring this up, and this is just one example I'm going to go through in this video. So that was Saturday, and they made it very clear that because he has such a limited time and that he was going to be pretty busy, they didn't want people just sitting in line to talk to him, to hang out. They wanted people that were, paying customers, because they're paying customers waiting. So, again, I can respect it. Like, this is, at the end of the day, honestly, some of these guys doing these Comic-Cons for autographs, this is their new career. This is where they're making money. So, I do not fault him for having these rules. I don't. And again, a lot of times they're super cool with their fans anyhow. They're definitely going to do some freebie shit. Like, I've talked in other videos where Reyes Davis, gave me a free autograph photo, like, that he's going to throw away. I had, I talked about in the last video about how the voice actors, if they saw somebody wearing a cool shirt, they would do, like, they'd give them an extra photo, or, whatever. Like, you can't fault these guys. So, this interaction, Sunday, there was a gentleman with, I would probably say he was autistic, like, and you can tell, right? Because he was very focused on, I got my autograph, I got my helmets, and I've got my stickers, and like I've got my pay. Like, am I going to be okay? And so I got to talk to the kid for a little bit. I helped him. Like, he had questions, and I was able to answer them because I'd already been at the con 3 days. I knew what was going on John's table. Like, helped the kid out. Like, was really nice to him. Like, it was fine. Lady behind him, little older Asian lady, she was getting a photo, probably for her son, or maybe for her. She was like, oh, I wonder if he'd let me take a photo. The guy behind her was like, well, as long as he's not one of those actors, like, as long as he actually knows how his fan base is and who's paying his salary, like, a lot of them will do that for you. And I was like, let me stop you right there. I was like, let's not set some expectation. Just let you know there's a new posted sign in front of the line where you guys walked in. I know because I posted it for the chick working the table. John doesn't do free selfies. Like, they want to make sure everyone that's in line gets their experience. They're paying for it. Like, he is going to charge $80 for the selfie, and he only takes cash or, do a prepaid. And the guy started getting really mouthy about that, right? He wasn't happy. He's like, oh, it's going to be one of those cons. I already see how this actor is. And I'm like, slow down. I said, let's talk about that for a second. I was like, you realize that if he stopped and gave free photos to everybody for selfies, everyone's going to want one. This line's going to take forever. You're going to be in this line forever. Like, you're going to be grumpy. Like, he's got a limited time. He's only working short time, whatever. Like, and understand, again, this is a business. Like, Reed Pop and any of the promoters have very exclusive contracts. Sometimes the guests are paid exclusively by the promoter, and if they don't make a certain amount of money, then the promoter has to pay it. Sometimes the promoter says, you are on your own and you make your money however you make your money. It's not our problem. We paid you to be here. We got you here. We did the things. What you hustle is what you hustle. So the guy was like, yeah, I guess. And so then him and I had some conversations about some of the other actors that he met. And we started talking about prices, and again, how prices have ballooned over the years. So he kind of calmed down. He backed off, and he wasn't upset with John at all. But then we look at some of the other actors, right? Chris Eccleston, Gone in 60 Seconds, Doctor Who, $110 for his autograph. Charged extra for extra items and, photo ops. Okay, I paid it. I wanted to meet Eccleston. I loved him in Gone in 60 Seconds. I thought he was a decent Destro. Like, never saw Doctor Who, but my dude. $150 for Jeremy Renner. Okay, Jeremy had a lot of extra add-on prices too as well. But again, it's Jeremy Renner. He was Hawkeye in Disney Plus movies, the MCU. Like, he was Born Identity. He was, Jesus. I mean, the guy's got a career path, right? Like, he's fucking famous. Not insane. But then you see people like Hayden Christensen. Now, I like Hayden Christensen. I actually really liked him in his new appearances in this Disney Plus series. I thought he was a little kind of overdriven for Star Wars. In episode 3, even though I love episode 3, I love all my Star Wars movies. I actually really like Hayden Christensen in Jumper. I thought he was a great actor in Jumper. He's $300 an autograph. Will I pay it? Yes. Is it insane? Of course. But that's the game, right? And again, these guys are trying to get movie deals. They're trying to, and some of them get screwed on the movies. You think that these guys have made millions and millions of dollars because their movies are absolutely phenomenal, and you don't realize how bad they actually got screwed on the back end. Walter Frank, right? He and the original Red Ranger have been putting out YouTube videos and Facebook posts about how you think the Power Rangers made a ton of money and these guys are ultra rich, and come to find out they were non-union. They got screwed. As famous as they were exploited to hell. And, he charges, it was $60 for his autograph. I'm paying it. Like, that's a great price for, a Power Ranger, a guy that we've all watched. We know who he is. And I know some of you will say, well, that's their contract. It's not our fault. They didn't read it and they got screwed. They were teenagers. Like, a couple of these guys weren't even 18 when they signed those contracts. They were tricked into signing a contract post-dated after their 18th birthday so that they could get into these contracts, and they thought they were going to, it was going to turn into something great. It was okay if the first season they got screwed, because season 2 they absolutely needed them. It's not how Hollywood works. So I think it's kind of crazy at one point as a consumer, as a person that has over the last few years shifted my collector focus on autographs, photo ops, and meeting these celebrities and heroes that I enjoy being entertained by. I've switched my collecting from Funko Pops and G.I. Joes and Hot Wheels to autographs and meeting celebrities and going to these conventions and comic books. And my focus will change as the years go through. I had arcade machines for the longest time. I'll go back to those. I have a few boards now. But prices will go up, and let's be honest, guys, like, these actors aren't getting any younger. Neither are we. Just this morning, just got a text message on the way home that Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away in a freak drowning accident in Costa Rica today. Rest in peace, my friend. He, great actor, you know. We all know him on I want to say Full House. It's not Full House. It's brain fart with Urkel, right? Family Matters. We know him from Family Matters. We know him from what else was he in? The Cosby Show. Like, great actor, freak accident, right? You'll never get a chance to meet him. If he showed up at a Comic-Con last year that you walked by him and didn't say hi, you didn't go maybe get an autograph, you didn't spend some time with him, would you feel bad? Maybe, maybe not, right? Like, they're not your friend, I get it. But these people spent their lives building a career and building a skill set to entertain you and entertain us. And so if they want $300 for an autograph, if they want to charge you extra for a selfie, pay it, don't pay it, whatever you want your experience to be. But I don't hate on the actors for charging for that experience, right? It's no different than saying I can go to McDonald's and get a cheeseburger for $4.99, or I can go to Ruby Tuesdays and get a similar cheeseburger for $14.99, or I can go to Ruth Chris and get a Wagyu beef cheeseburger for $199. What do you want your experience to be? What are you willing to pay for that experience, right? So, and again, I'm not saying that some of these prices aren't insane. Tom Hiddleston, $300. Ewan McGregor, I think it was $400. Michael J. Fox, $350. But Michael J. Fox is donating it also. Now, does that change the fact of the price so high? No. But, like, he knows he's not going to be able to do anything with it, right? So he was diagnosed. He has been working through Parkinson's. He knows other people have it. He can help with the research. He's given his money away for it. But that's what he wants to do. If, Walter Frank takes everything he made from the Comic-Con tonight and throws it in the bank so he can pay his mortgage tomorrow, fucking good for him. Like, charges $80. Like, he's cool with the fans. Like, he provides a service. So are the costs getting crazy? Yes. Is there a reason for it? Sure. Half the people are going to resell the autograph. Half the people are going to, keep it, cherish it, love it, whatever. But don't knock these guys for their business. Like, some of you don't think twice about dropping $500 for a pair of Jordans so that Nike can, make a fortune and profit on a pair of $2 sneakers they make in a sweatshop in China. You have no problem spending $1,600 for your iPhone, and again, made in a sweatshop in China by Apple, who is the largest and most wealthiest flipping conglomerate on the planet, and yet you'll give them $1,600 for a piece of technology that hasn't changed in 8 years, but you're freaking out at, $110 to meet a celebrity that you've enjoyed their work, freaking out at $150 for a guy that was just in an accident, survived it, and got screwed over by the media company that he worked for because now he was in an accident and they thought they could screw him on half his paycheck. Like, where are your priorities? I'm okay with paying the prices. You pay to play. Like, you save up, you do the con, and whatever. Like, you do your best at it. So I think we need to respect the idea that this is a business for them just as it is for the company you work for every day. I also think that, you have to pick and choose, right? There are some celebrities that, as much as I would love to sit down, talk with them, get a selfie with them, take a photo, get their autograph, if I had to choose between, let's say, what would be a good example that I could use this for? If I had to choose between, if I only had a budget and I had to choose between, for instance, the Tampa Bay if I had to choose between Melissa Joan Hart and Keith Davis, who am I going to get an autograph from? I'm going to go with Keith Davis. Keith Davis has a lot more films that I've enjoyed him as an actor that he's entertained me with. And as much as I watched a lot of Melissa Jones' work, because as I was growing up as a teenager, had a crush on her, you know, if I had to choose. Now, obviously, I have big boy money. I have grown up money. I have a grown up job. I can do whatever the hell I want with my money, and I'm going to get both of them, okay? But, like, don't be mad or feel like these guys are out to screw you and nickel and dime you, because at the end of the day, all the big boy industries and all the other things that you pay for in a day are doing the same thing, and you just don't know it because it's got a big shiny bow on it, okay? So Jeremy Renner charging $150 for his autograph, you know, $80 for a selfie, you know, I think it was $180 if you want to get like a Funko Pop or a comic book signed. You're like, oh, well, it's the same autograph. It is the same autograph, but it does require a different set of attention. It does require a different set of, again, it takes a few extra minutes to pump through and still meet and greet with you and concentrate and focus. Like, I would much rather give my money to somebody that I enjoy, I've been entertained by, than drop another $1,700 on an iPhone that's going to turn around and be like, oh, well, look, we added a fourth camera. Dog, I would have never bought this iPhone had I not dropped the last one out the car and got it ran over. I own a Jeep. I have no doors. Bite me. But yeah, so that's my spiel. I know that, like I said, I know a lot of people are having, you know, some anguish and a little resentment about the amount of money these guys are charging. Look what they do for you, man. Like, your favorite actor from a movie that is your, like, go-to, let's say your piece, like you're sick, you're homesick for a day, you're like, I want to relax, or I just need to feel comfortable. You always have that comfort movie. If you met one of your actors from your comfort movie and they wanted $500 for an autograph, are you going to say no? Maybe if you can't afford it. You know, maybe if you have other priorities. Maybe if you are an idiot and don't care about saving your money, but you'd much rather spend it meeting, one of your heroes, I'd spend $500 on the autograph. So that's me. That's my spiel. This video went a lot longer than I expected it to, but hopefully it gives you a little bit more perspective on what's happening in the autograph world, what the autographs are costing you nowadays, and maybe it gives you a little bit more perspective to think about, like, being kind of like, oh man, I can't believe they're nickel and dime. They're not nickel and diming you. It's just life. It's how it is. And people will pay for it. If people stop paying for the extra things, maybe the convention circuit will start to wean back some of their prices. We, at the end of the day, control the market. If we decide we're not going to pay $40 for a selfie, they'll stop charging for selfies. They're not going to get it, so why charge it? Might as well give it away for free. Get more customers, right? Maybe. We'll see. But as long as people are willing to drop $80 for an autograph plus the $40 for the selfie, they're going to do it. I mean, look, I did the selfie combo for an autograph with selfie with Steve Downs. It was $80 for an autograph, $60 for just a selfie. It was, I think, $100 even for both. I'm doing both. So that's my spiel. That's my rant. Hopefully you guys, again, maybe have a little bit different perspective now going into this, or maybe you realize how expensive these conventions are and you're going to stop going. I don't know. And I really don't care. That's on you. You do you, boo-boo. I'm doing me. So, all right, guys, as always, like, subscribe, and follow. And leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what the most expensive autograph you paid for was. Tell me what the most money you dropped at one celebrity's table was. I'd love to hear that. I've got stories we could do for days. All right, guys. Later.